Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I am so excited to jump into today's video because Christmas is right around the corner. So I thought it'd be really fun this month to do a lot of simple, easy, quick crafts that you guys can make your own Christmas decor items with, or you could use these crafts to make gifts for your friends or your family for the holidays. In any case, today I'm going to be showing you guys how to etch glass. So if you're curious to see how I made these, keep watching. Alright guys, so in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to etch glass without using any fancy tools that you're actually physically etching the glass with. Today we're doing it the quick and easy way, and we're going to be using Armor Etch. So for today's craft, you're going to need a few things. The most important thing that you're obviously going to need is this Armor Etch. This is glass etching cream. I got this from Hobby Lobby. As you can see here, it was $10 unfortunately, so it is pretty pricey for a small amount, but you really don't need a lot to complete a project. So with this tiny amount, I will be able to do a ton of projects with it. You're obviously going to also need some type of glass to etch, and then we're going to be using a paintbrush to actually paint on the Armor Etch onto our glass stuff. I like to wipe everything down with some alcohol wipes, and you don't necessarily have to have this, but I'm using it today because why not? It's going to make my life easier. I'm going to be using some removable vinyl for a stencil, and I'm also going to be using my Cricut along with my Cricut design space on my laptop. But like I said, you don't have to make a stencil and use your Cricut or vinyl. You could just paint this on if you want to freehand it. I'm just going to be making my own stencil out of some removable vinyl just to show you guys that that is an option. All right guys, so I have everything that I need here, so let's get started. All right guys, so I have my Cricut design space open here. So I could upload my own images obviously and then cut those out, but I think I'm going to check out what the Cricut design space has in their library. So here is all the shapes that they have, but if you go down here, it says search for more. I'm going to click that, and then up here you can type in whatever you're looking for. I'm just going to type in Christmas and see what pops up. Okay, so as you can see here, it just comes up with Christmas and a bunch of different like fonts and stuff. Okay, here's some more. Here's a tree, Christmas light. Okay, so I have 4 different types of trees here. So I'm going to spread them out so we can kind of look at them. And then I'm going to attach these together. I'm going to shrink them a little bit. That's good. And then I'm going to duplicate it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this one out. And as it's cutting this one out, we can work on the designs for the other ones. So I'm going to go ahead and hit make it up here. And then I'm going to hit continue, and I'm using removable vinyl, which they do have that on here, but I just go to vinyl and then I will hit a little bit less pressure, and then we are ready to cut it out. So let's put the vinyl on the mat and get this stencil started. All right, so I have my removable vinyl on my mat here, so I'm going to go ahead and load it in. All right guys, so it's done cutting out our trees, so I'm going to unload our mat so we can weed this vinyl out. So when you're weeding out your vinyl to use for a stencil, you kind of have to think about this backwards and think about how you want this to be laid out on your item. So in this case, I'm putting these trees on this jar here, so you have to think, do you want the trees to be the clear glass and the background of the trees to be the fog glass? Or do you want the trees to be kind of foggy and the background of the glass be clear like it is? So in this case, I want my trees to be the foggy part. So I am going to be weeding out the actual tree so that we can just put this on the jar and then paint inside this tree line. But if I was wanting the jar to be foggy except for the trees and the trees to be the clear glass, then I would put the trees on like this and then just paint right over that. Now that we have our vinyl weeded out, we can put this on our jar. Now, had I curved these trees a certain way, I would be able to just wrap the vinyl around the jar. Unfortunately, I didn't even think about that, so I didn't do that. So I'm going to have to carefully cut in between the trees so that I can put them on individually. Now, if this was like super detailed and intricate, I would probably have to use some transfer tape, but because we're just using it like this, and this is a pretty big shape, I'm not really worried about it. So I'm just going to peel the vinyl off from the backing and then put this directly on the jar. Now, before I put the vinyl on and I do the Armor Etch, I just like to take the alcohol wipe and just go over the entire surface, just to make sure there's no like residue or oil or anything that's going to prevent the vinyl from sticking or mess up the Armor Etch. Okay, so now I'm ready to put the vinyl on. And I don't really worry about pressing down the entire stencil really well because I'm just doing this big shape right here. I'm just going to press down on the edges where I'm going to be painting inside of this little stencil. Okay, so I'm just going to keep doing the same thing all the way around the jar until I have completely filled it with the vinyl stencil. And now we are ready to paint on our Armor Etch. So as you can see here, I just have my paintbrush and I'm just putting a generous coat all around our stencil. Okay, so we're gonna let this set for a few minutes and then we will rinse it off. Okay, so I got all of these images off of the shapes in the Cricut library. So I'm just going to attach these. Otherwise, Cricut Design Space will put this on its own mat, this on its own mat, and this on its own mat. And I wanna cut this all out at once. So I'm just gonna hit make it. Alright guys, so just like before, I'm going to separate my design since these are for 3 different projects. Alright guys, so whenever I'm working with words, I find it easier to put a piece of transfer tape over your words. Like so. So just over the entire piece of vinyl here. And then I flip it over. Then I'm going to peel off the backing from the whole thing. And then I'm gonna put the whole thing on the plate. So now I'm gonna peel off my transfer tape. And basically we just use the transfer tape to make sure that none of the letters or words kind of came apart or peeled up. I'm just gonna be weeding out the actual design here. Okay, so there's that. So now whenever we paint on the Armor Etch and then it's all washed off and ready, then you're just gonna see this on the front side. And then just to show you the other way that you can do it, you can just weed out your stuff as you would like on normal vinyl. Now obviously we're weeding out the actual design because just like the other ones, it's a stencil. And then we're gonna put this on our candy jar. And I don't really care about this little border. I really just like this font. So then, just like before, you're gonna peel off your transfer tape. Okay, and just like before, we're just gonna paint a thick layer right over the vinyl. Okay, so I'm gonna let that dry for a few minutes. We're just gonna move right along to the next one. So this one was on the back. And we're gonna leave that to dry for a few minutes. Right, now the first jar that we did, this is completely dry. So I'm gonna go wash off all the excess here. And then I'll come back, we'll peel off the vinyl together and we'll see what it looks like. Okay guys, so I have washed off all of the excess Armor Etch. So now we're ready to peel up our vinyl and see what these look like. All right guys, so I finished peeling off all the vinyl and you can see our trees on our jar. They came out so good, the camera just doesn't do them justice. All right, I'm putting my iPad here so that maybe you can see them better with the black background. You see the trees a little bit better. I think I just need to like wash it really good one more time and then it should be good. But this is gonna be so cute. I could either put like a candle in here and then it would look really pretty with the trees etched in there. Or I could use this to put like cookies in for like my holiday baking when I give a bunch of baked goods to all my friends and family. Or these would even be really cute. You could like personalize these to your friends, put your friends like gifts in them, a gift card, fill the jar with candy or whatever. And you could put like their name on it, their monogram. So I think these would be super cool for like personalized gifts and so much more. All right guys, so I'm gonna go wash off the rest of this stuff and we'll peel up the vinyl and take a look at these other projects that we did. All right guys, so I washed off the excess. Now we're gonna peel up the vinyl. All right guys, so here's our plate that says Merry Christmas on it and our candy jar that I just did the word candy on. But a fairly inexpensive and easy craft, and you could personalize a bunch of different gifts for this and make so many different projects with this. So love that. All right guys, so I put my jar on the mantle, put a little candle in it. So cute, love the way it looks. You guys, for a craft that took me like less than 20 minutes entirely to do, I think these came out great. Like I've said a million times, you could personalize these, make these for gifts for people, or you can use your creations in your own home like I am going to be doing. But as always guys, I hope you enjoyed this quick craft. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to drop a comment down below. If you did like this video, please let me know that you liked it by giving me a big thumbs up. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, be sure to click that subscribe button down below so you don't miss out on any other of my crafting tutorials. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys next time.